Hello everyone, in this video we will solve a JEE Mains previous year question based on this trigonometric identities. Let us carefully understand the problem and learn how to approach this type of question. This question was asked in January 2026 session. Let's get started. Let us first carefully observe the problem. In question asked what is the value of this expression. First we write this expression clearly. Root 3 cosec 20 degree minus sec 20 degree over cosec 20 cos 40 cos 60 cos 80 degree. So if you carefully observe the denominator, one beautiful pattern are followed, that is root 3 cosec 20 minus sec 20. As usual we write cos 20 cos 40 and cos 80, after that cos 60. So it can be written as cos 20 cos 60 minus 20 then cos 60 plus 20. This term we can write in this way. So we know that one formula given that we can write as a note cos x cos of 60 minus x and cos of 60 plus x is equal to 1 over 4 cos of 3x. So we use this formula here, that is actually here. It is easy to prove when we break first cos of 60 minus x into cos of 60 plus x. After that we multiply by cos of x, then we again break this function, then we will get 1 over 4 cos of 3x. Therefore we use this formula here. So root 3 cosec 20 minus sec 20 over this term we can write 1 over 4 cos of 3x, that is x is 20, and therefore we can write 1 over 4 cos of 3 times 20 degree into remaining term is 60 degree, so cos of 60 degree, cos of 60 degree. So denominator is sorted out. So root 3 cosec 20 minus sec 20 over 1 over 4, that is 4 here, that is cos 60, that is cos 60, so cos 60 square. So next we put this cos 60 value. Now we break the numerator term, so cosec and sec, so we break these two term in sine and cos. So therefore we can write 4 times root 3 1 over sine 20 minus 1 over cos 20 over cos 60 value. Cos 60 value is 1 over 2 was, therefore that is 1 over 4, that is 4 cross 4 multiply by, that is we LCM here, so we got root 3 cos 20 minus sine 20 over sine 20 cos 20, therefore that is 16 into root 3. So we adjust here 2, so we multiply here 2 also, cos 20 minus 1 over 2 sine 20 over sine 20 cos 20, therefore we can write it 32 times, that is we multiply here 2, so 2 here, so that is sine 20 cos 20, because we convert this term to sine 2 theta, that is sine 40. Here root 3 by 3 is value is sine 60 and cos 20 minus cos 60 sine 20, because we apply the formula of sine of a minus b here. Therefore this is 64 multiply by here sine 60 degree minus 20 degree and over 2 sine 20 cos 20, that means sine of 2 times 20, that is 40 degree. Therefore 64 times sine 60 minus 20, that is 40, that is 40 degree over sine 40 degree. These two terms are cancelled, therefore we got 64. So this is the answer of this problem, and this is the one of the option, that is the third option is the correct answer. Therefore the overall the questions we use one important formula, that is the cos of x cos of 60 minus x cos of 60 plus x is equal to 1 over 4 cos of 3x. If we remember this identity, it is easy to prove. Otherwise it is you solve when we break individually, then we got these terms. So it is little bit time taking problem. So if you remember this identity, then it reduce your time. Then we break the numerator term in sine and cosine form. Then we got the answer of this expression is 64. So this is our answer. In a question, it is given that theta lies between pi by 2 to pi and given that cot theta value. Then ask the find the value of this expression. So we write this sine 15 theta by 2 into cos 8 theta plus sine 8 theta plus cos 15 theta by 2 times cos 8 theta minus sine 8 theta. Now we expand this, so we multiply sine by this total function and cos by this total function. So that is sine 15 theta by 2 cos 8 theta plus sine 15 theta by 2 sine 8 theta. Second is cos 15 theta by 2 cos 8 theta minus cos 15 theta by 2 sine 8 theta. So why we expand? If you carefully see, we get a formula. So when we rearrange these terms, suppose we rearrange this term, these terms and this term, and this term also, this term gets a formula. So we write, so we rearrange the terms sine 15 theta over 2 cos 8 theta minus cos first term and last term into sine 8 theta, and second term this one, and second term and third term. First we write the third term cos 15 theta over 2 cos 8 theta plus sine 15 theta over 2 sine 8 theta. Now we use two trigonometric identity. First one is sine of a minus b formula, that is actually sine a cos b minus cos a sin b. So first one use here. Second identity we use here cos of a minus b, that is cos a cos b plus sin a sin b. This second one use second terms, that ones. So we write first one we use sine cos cos sine, that is this sine of a minus b. So that is sine of 15 theta over 2 minus 8 theta plus second term is cos of a minus b, cos of 15 theta over 2 minus 8 theta. Now we calculate these terms is equal to sine minus theta by 2 plus cos minus theta by 2, that is we LCM here and here also. So we get a minus theta by 2. Therefore sine function minus come outside, so sine theta by 2 plus cos theta by 2, because cos function vanishes the minus sign. Therefore it is cos of theta by 2 minus sine theta by 2. Now we find the value of cos theta by 2 minus theta by 2. Now it's given that cot theta is equal to minus 1 over 2 root 2. So we first convert in theta form. So now we find the value of cos of theta by 2 minus sine theta by 2 whole square. Then we square root, then we get the value of cos theta by 2 minus sine theta by 2. Therefore we write it cos square theta by 2 plus sine square theta by 2 minus 2 sine theta by 2 cos theta by 2. We expand this a minus b formula. So that is actually 1 minus 2 sine theta by 2 cos theta by 2. Therefore that is actually 1 minus sine theta. Therefore only we find the value of 1 minus sine theta. Now given that cot theta is equal to minus 1 over 2 root 2. So cot theta, that means base by perpendicular. So here base is 1 and perpendicular is 2 root 2. Now we find the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse square is equal to perpendicular square plus base square. So base is 1 and perpendicular to root 2. 2 root 2 square plus 1 square, that is actually 8 plus 1, that is actually 9. This implies hypotenuse is equal to 3. So sine theta is equal to 2 root 2 over 3, and given that theta lies between pi by 2 to pi, so theta lies between pi by 2 to pi, that means that is pi by 2, that is pi. Here the sign is positive, that's why we write the positive sign here. Now theta lies between pi by 2 to pi, that means theta by 2 lies between pi by 4 less than pi by 2, that means theta lies between this range here. So when this range, sin theta by 2 greater than cos theta by 2, this imply cos theta by 2 minus sin theta by 2 is less than 0. That means our this value is negative. We find in this way such as this value is negative. So we got cos theta by 2 minus sin theta by 2 whole square is equal to 1 minus sin theta. Therefore that value is 1 minus sin theta value we got is equal to 2 root 2 over 3, that is 2 root 2 over 3, that is actually 3 minus 2 root 2 over 3, that is actually 2 plus 1 minus 2 root 2 over 3, that means this is equal to root 2 square plus 1 square minus 2 root 2 over 3, that is actually root 2 minus 1 whole square over 3, that actually cos theta by 2 minus sin theta by 2. Previously we see that this value is negative, so we choose this value here from cos theta by 2 minus sin theta by 2 in such a way that this value is negative. So root 2 value is 1.414, so we choose this value is 1 minus root 2 over root 3. So this is the answer of this question. Therefore the value of this function is 1 minus root 2 over root 3. This is the fourth option is the correct answer. So overall the questions, we expand our given expansion, then we rearrange it two terms and we use two formula here, sine of a minus b formula and cos of a minus b formula. Using this we get our final answer, that is actually 1 minus 2 root 2 over root 3. Let us first carefully observe the problem. The question, it is given that pot of x is equal to 5 over 12 and x lies between pi by 2 3 pi by 2, and then find the value of this expression. Therefore we write the question, sin 7x cos 13x by 2 plus sin 13x over 2 cos 7x cos 13x over 2 minus sin 13x over 2. So this type of questions we just break all those terms and rearrange the terms. So we first break this all those terms, sin 7x cos 13x over 2 sin 7x sin 13x over 2 plus cos 7x multiplied by this cos of 13x over 2 minus cos 7x sin 13x over 2. Now we rearrange the terms. You see 7x cos 13x over 2. We arrange these terms and these terms together, cos 7x sin 13x over 2, because we use here one formula. I will discuss the formula later. Now we rearrange first. And second is second terms and third terms, that is cos 7x cos 13x over 2 and last term is sin 7x sin 13x over 2, this. So we use two formula here. we write it as note. First is sine A minus B, that is equal to sine A cos B minus cos A sine B, and second is cos of A minus B formula, that is cos A cos B plus sine A sine B. So first one we use these terms here, that is sine cos cos sine and minus sine, so that is sine of A minus B formula. And second one is, second identity is the second terms, this bracket cos cos plus sine sine. So we use these two identity, these terms reduce to, that is A value is 7x and B value is 13x over 2. So both cases are same, so we write it sine 7x minus 13x over 2 and plus second terms gives cos of 7x minus 13x over 2. Therefore we calculate it, we got sine of x by 2 cos of x by 2. So our expression gives this sine x by 2 plus cos x by 2. Now we find these two values using this given cot x is equal to 5 over 2 and x lies between pi to 3 pi by 2. So we write, given that cot of x is equal to 5 over 12, x belongs to pi to 3 pi by 2. That means if you see the coordinate axis, that is 0, pi by 2, that is pi, that is 3 pi by 2. So this quadrant, that is the third quadrant, x belongs to the third quadrant. Now from here we find the cos x value. So in this quadrant sine cos both are negative, so this value is negative something. So it is given that cot of x is equal to 5 over 12. That means base is equal to 5 and perpendicular is equal to 12. So we find the hypotenuse, and so hypotenuse square is equal to base square, that is 5 square plus 12 square, that is equal to 25 144, that is 169. This implies hypotenuse is equal to 13. So cos x value is, so we find the cos x and x between, x lies between pi to 3 pi by 2. So cos x value is negative, so that is base is 5 and hypotenuse is 13. So cos x is equal to 5 minus 5 by 13. Now our actually need the sine of x by 2 and cos of x by 2. So using this cos x value we find the sine of x by 2 and cos of x by 2. Now we use this one identity, that is our third identity, is 2 cos square theta by 2 is equal to 1 plus cos theta. So use here we have cos x is equal to minus 5 over 13. So 2 cos square x by 2 is equal to 1 plus cos x. This implies 2 cos square x by 2 is equal to 1 minus 5 over 13. This implies 2 cos square x by 2 is equal to 8 by 13. Therefore this implies cos square x by 2 is equal to 4 by 13. Now we find cos of x by 2, given that x belongs to pi to 3 pi by 2. This implies x by 2 belongs to pi by 2 to 3 pi by 4. That means this quadrant, that is pi by 2 to pi, that is x by 2 belongs to this quadrant. So this quadrant, second quadrant, cos value is negative. So this implies cos, this cos of x by 2 value is negative. Cos square x by 2 is equal to 4 by 13. So cos of x by 2 is equal to minus 2 by root under 13. So we got cos of x by 2 is equal to minus 2 root under 13. Now remaining value is sine of x by 2. So we find sine of x by 2 using cos of x by 2, that is root under 1 minus cos of x by 2 whole square. That is actually 1 minus cos of x by 2, that is 2 root under 13 minus whole square. So in this quadrant, that is second quadrant, sine is positive. That's why we choose sine of x by 2 value is positive. That's why we choose the positive value. So we calculate it. 1 minus 4 by 13, that is sine of x by 2. We got root under 9 by 13 is equal to 3 root under 13. Therefore, our expression gives this value sine x by 2 plus cos x by 2, and we find both values are 3 root under 13 and cos value is minus 2 by 13. So we put here that is 2 root under 13, that is actually 1 root over 13. If you see the option, we see the option 4 is correct option. Let us first carefully observe the problem. In question it is given that some expression is equal to 1 which is involving tan and sine function, and asked this type of 3 function which is a tan function or angle ABC, which one is AP or GP. So problem is tan A minus B over tan A plus sine square C over sine square A is equal to 1. In question asked tan A, tan B, tan C. So whole terms we convert in tan form. So we rearrange this term in this way and try to write whole terms in tan form. So here we use two formula. First formula is tan of A minus B formula, that is tan A minus tan B over 1 plus tan A tan B, and second one is, that is we write here, suppose sine square theta in terms of tan form, that is actually tan square theta over 1 plus tan square theta. So using these two identity here and here, so we convert whole terms in tan form. Therefore we convert it one by one. Therefore we write sine square c first, sine square c, that is we use this sine square theta, that is sine square c is equal to tan square c over 1 plus tan square c, that is tan square c over 1 plus tan square c over, we convert next sine square a, that is tan square a over 1 plus tan square a, that is actually 1 minus tan of a minus b, where we put this formula tan of a minus b here. So 1 minus, we put tan of a minus b formula, that is tan a minus tan b over 1 plus tan a tan b, and tan a is same. So now we calculate it, tan square c over 1 plus tan square c multiply by 1 plus tan square a over tan square a, that is equal to 1 minus tan a minus tan b over tan a 1 plus tan a tan b. Therefore we write it tan square c over 1 plus tan square c multiply by 1 plus tan square a is equal to tan square c over tan square a, that is equal to, now we LCM is here tan a into 1 plus tan a to tan b, that is actually use that function we write here. So tan a 1 plus tan a tan b, that is tan a 1 plus tan a tan b minus tan a, that is plus tan b. Therefore left hand side is same, so we write is equal to tan a, we break this term tan a plus tan square tan b minus tan a plus tan b. This tan a are cancel, so that is tan a 1 plus tan a tan b. Therefore tan square c over 1 plus tan square c multiply by 1 plus tan square a over tan square a is equal to, we got tan square a tan b plus tan b over tan a 1 plus tan a tan b. So we common here tan, both terms are contained the tan b, so we common it, so it will be tan b common, so tan square a plus 1, so tan a 1 plus tan a tan b. Therefore left hand side are remaining same, so we write tan square c 1 plus tan square c multiplied by 1 plus tan square a over tan square a is equal to tan b 1 plus tan square a over tan a 1 plus tan a tan b. So both side 1 plus tan square are same, so these two terms are cancelled. Also here tan a here is tan square, so 1 tan square is cancelled, that is only tan a. Therefore it is reduced to tan square c over tan a 1 plus tan square c is equal to tan b over 1 plus tan square, that is 1 plus tan a tan b. Next we cross multiply and we simplify it. Therefore tan square c multiplied by 1 plus tan a tan b is equal to tan b tan a multiplied by 1 plus tan square c. This implies now we break all those terms and simplify it. Tan square c plus tan square c tan a tan b is equal to tan a tan b plus tan a tan a tan b tan square c. So both side we see tan a tan b tan square c are common, these two terms, so these two terms are cancelled. Therefore we got tan square c is equal to tan a tan b. This is the final expression. So in question asked which relation is ap and gp. First we see three number in ap and gp means. Suppose a b c are ap. ap means these three terms, so this means 2b is equal to a plus c. This relation hold, this means these three terms a b c's are in ap. So our expression we got this term tan square c is equal to tan a into tan b. So this type of relation are not we got, so this tan of these angles are not in ap. So next we see, suppose a b c are in gp. That means second terms, that is b square is equal to ac. This relation holds, this means these three terms are in gp. So our relation we got tan square c is equal to tan a into tan b. So this kind of relation are we got. Therefore these three terms tan of c, tan a and tan b, these three terms are gp. So we arrange this way: a b and c. B is the second term, a is the first term, c is the last term. So we see that our relation is this. So b square means second term, so tan square c is the middle term and tan a and tan b are the first and last term. So therefore tan a, tan c and tan b are gp. So we see the third option, tan a, tan c and tan b are in gp. Let us first carefully observe the problem. In problem asks find the value of this function cosec 10 degree minus root under 3 sec 10 degree. So if we write this question cosec 10 degree minus root under sec 10 degree. So is this type of question, first we break at is sine and cos function. So cosec, that means 1 over sine 10 degree minus sec, that means 1 over cos 10 degree. Now we LCM it, sine 10 degree cos 10 degree, that is cos 10 degree minus root under 3 sine 10 degree. Now we calculate one by one denominator and numerator. So numerator is cos 10 degree minus root under 3 sine 10 degree. Now we adjust 2 here, so that is half cos 10 degree root 3 by 2 sine 10 degree. Actually, we want to use here cos of a plus b formula. So how to use here? So half, that means cos 60 degree, cos 10 degree as usual, root 3 by 2, that means sine 60 degree and sine 10 degree. So we use here this formula. We write as a note cos of a plus b, that means cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. So that equation now convert to 2 times cos of 60 degree plus 10 degree, that is actually 2 cos 70 degree. So we got numerator is equal to 2 cos 70 degree. Now denominator is sin 10 degree cos 10 degree, that is sin 10 degree cos 10 degree. We use this formula, 2 cos theta sin theta is equal to sin of 2 theta, that is we use here sin 10 degree, so we adjust 2 here, 2 sin 10 degree cos 10 degree, that is half value is sine of 2 10 degree, that means 20 degree. So we got separately numerator value and denominator value. Therefore numerator, we put the numerator value, that is 2 cos 70 degree, and denominator value is 1 over 2 sine of 20 degree. So that is actually 4 cos 70 degree over sine 20 degree. So therefore we write cos 70 degree in this way. If we manipulate it 70 degree, that means 90 degree minus 20 degree over sine 20 degree. Here we use this note. We know cos of 90 degree minus theta is equal to actually sine theta, because cos and sine are changes in the 90 degree angles. So that is when it's 90 degree, that is 90 degree, and 90 degree minus theta is here. So cos of 90 degree minus theta is equal to sine theta. Therefore we use here this identity. Therefore that is equal to 4, this cos of 90 degree minus 20 degree is equal to sine of 20 degree. Therefore sine 20 degree over sine 20 degree, these two terms are cancelled. Therefore this value is 4. This is given in the option 4. Therefore 4 is a correct answer. So overall the questions, we actually break our terms in sine and cos function. Then we separately calculate the denominator and numerator. Then we get a simplified function is 2 cos 70 degree over half time sine 20 degree. In between we use two identity, cos of a plus b formula, and second is 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to sine of 2 theta. Using these two identity we get this is equal to 4 cos of 70 degree over sine 20 degree. Here we use another identity is cos of 90 degree minus theta is equal to sine theta. Using this identity here we get that is actually 4 times sine 20 by sine 20, and sine 20 and sine 20 are cancelled. We got the answer 4. Let us first carefully observe the problem. In this question asked, find the least value of this function. The function is given that cos square theta minus 6 sin theta cos theta plus 3 sin square theta plus 2. Least value means we want to find the minimum value of this function. So first we write it clearly, cos square theta plus 3 sin square theta minus 6. So if we write in this way, 3 2 sin theta cos theta plus 2. So we want to write every term in terms of 2 theta. So if we write the same theta, suppose theta either 2 theta, so here is the sin and cos are multiply, or here cos and sin individual. So we write the same theta. So we want to move 2 theta to 2 theta. So write cos square theta plus 3 sin square theta minus 3, that is 2 sin theta cos theta, that means sin 2 theta plus 2. So use these two identity, write cos 2 theta and sin theta in terms of 2 theta. So 2 cos square theta is equal to, we know, 1 plus cos 2 theta, and second identity is 2 sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta. So use these two identity here. So cos square theta, means 1 plus cos 2 theta over 2 plus 3 sin square theta means 1 minus cos 2 theta over 2, and rest of her same, 3 sin 2 theta plus 2. Therefore 2 is LCM here, so 2 1 plus cos 2 theta, 3 multiply this term plus 3 minus 3 cos 2 theta minus 3 sin 2 theta plus sin 2 theta plus 2. Therefore that is 4 minus 2 cos 2 theta over 2 minus 3 sin 2 theta plus 2, that is 2 minus cos 2 theta minus 3 sin 2 theta plus 2, that is actually 4 minus cos 2 theta minus 3 sin 2 theta. So we want to find the minimum value of this function, that is actually this function. So we want to find the minimum value of this function. Therefore if we find the maximum value of this function cos 2 theta plus 3 sin 2 theta, then this function gives the minimum value of this function. So now we want to find the maximum value of this cos 2 theta plus 3 sin 2 theta. Therefore cos 2 theta plus 3 sin 2 theta. So we know that a sin theta plus b cos theta can be write as a r sin of theta plus alpha. Any type of this function can be write as a r times sin theta plus alpha. So if we break this in this formula, sin of theta plus alpha, sin theta cos alpha plus cos theta sin alpha, that is r cos alpha sin theta plus r sin alpha cos theta. So we compare this left hand side and right hand side, then we get a is equal to r cos alpha and b is equal to r sin alpha. So then we square it, a square plus b square, then we get r square cos square alpha plus r square sin square alpha. Therefore a square plus b square is equal to r square cos square alpha plus r square sin square alpha, that is actually r square. So this implies r is equal to plus minus root under a square plus b square. So we get this r value. So we want to the maximum value of this function, so that is r times sin of theta plus alpha. So we get the maximum, so we put r value and the sin theta maximum value. So sin theta maximum value is 1, therefore this function maximum value is r. R means plus of root under a square plus b square. So now we compare this. Here is theta replaced by 2 theta, so same type of functions. So that is a is 3 sin 2 theta plus b is 1 cos 2 theta. So a is equal to 3. So in our case a is equal to 3, b is equal to 1. So in our case r is equal to root under 3 square plus 1 square, that is actually 9 plus 1. Therefore r is equal to in our case root under 10. So this maximum value is root under 10. So we put here this maximum value cos theta plus 3 sin theta. So this actually we write it our function, we simplify in this way, 4 minus cos 2 theta plus 3 sin 2 theta. We write it is this minus r in terms of sin functions. We get r value is root under 10 in terms of some sin function. So we want to find the maximum value of this function. So we put, sorry, so we want to find the minimum value of this function. So we want to put the maximum value of the sine functions. So maximum value of the sine function is 1. So we put the sine value is 1. Therefore, the minimum value of our function is 4 minus root under 10, and the maximum value of sine is 1. That is actually 4 minus root under 10. This is the answer of this questions. In question asked, what is the least value of this given function? That is the least value. Least value means minimum value, 4 minus root under 10. In overall questions, we are doing just write our function in terms of 2 theta function and use a technique A sin theta plus B cos theta. It is write as R sin of theta plus alpha form. Then we find the value of R. R is root under square plus B square. That is the maximum and value of R. So in this way we find the our minimum value of this function, that is 4 minus root under 10 into put the maximum value of the sine function, that is 1. That is actually our minimum value is 4 root under 10. Let us first carefully observe the problem. In a problem, it is given that some trigonometric function is equal to alpha plus beta root under 5 over 2 and alpha beta belongs to natural number. Then asked find the value of alpha plus beta. So the problem is cos square 48 degree minus sin square 12 degree over sin square 24 degree minus sin square 6 degree. In a trigonometry, here we use the two identities. First one is cos square A minus sin square B is equal to cos of A plus B cos of A minus B. It is easy to prove. When we break cos of A plus B and cos of A minus B formula, then we easily get cos square A minus sin square B. And second identity is sin square A minus sin square B is equal to sin of A plus B sin of A minus B. Similarly, we break sin of A plus B and sin of A minus B. It is easy to prove sin square A minus sin square B. Therefore, we use these two identity 1 and 2 here. Therefore, use this identity. First one is used here and second one use here. Therefore, we write that is cos square 48. A is 48, B is 12. It is cos of 48 degree plus 12 degree into cos of 48 degree minus 12 degree, and sin square 24, A is 24 and B is 6. So that is sin square A minus sin square B. So this is sin of A plus B, that is 24 degree plus 6 degree sin of 24 minus 6 degree. Therefore, we write cos of 48 plus 12, that is 60 degree, and cos of 48 minus 12, that is 36 degree, cos of 36 degree over sin of 24 plus 6, 30 degree, sin of 24 minus 6, that is 18 degree. So sin 30 degree, sin 18 degree. So we know cos of 60 is equal to 1 over 2 cos of 36 over sin 30 is 1 over 2 sin 18. Therefore, this half and half are cancelled, is actually 36 degree over sin 80 degree. So in this case, if we know the value of sin 18 degree, then we get easily this answer. Therefore, we know that the sine of 18 degree, if you remember this value, it is easy to find sine of 18 degree is equal to root under 5 minus 1 over 4. If you remember this sine of 18 value, it is easy to solve many questions. So we need sine 18 as well as cos 36. So we use another identity here, third identity, right? Cos 2 theta is equal to 1 minus 2 sin square theta. So we need cos of 36. We have sine of 18. So cos 2 into 18 degree is equal to 1 minus 2 sine square 18. So put the value of sine 18 here. So we will easily get cos of 36. That is 1 minus 2 sine value is root under 5 minus 1 by 4 whole square is equal to 1 minus 2 times, that is 5 plus 1 minus 2 root under 5 over 16. We break it a minus b formula. So therefore cos of 36 is equal to 1 minus 2 6 minus 2 root under 5 over 16. Therefore this cancel, it's 8. So 1 minus 6 minus 2 root under 5 over 8. Therefore 8 is LCM, 1 minus 6 plus 2 root under 5. It is actually, that is 8. 8 minus 6, that is 2 plus 2 root under 5 over 8. It is actually root under 5 plus 1 over 4. So we got cos 36. If we remember this value, sine of 18 degree is equal to root under 5 minus 1 over 4, then we easily get the cos of 36. So now we put, therefore our value is cos of 36 is root under root 5 1 root 5 plus 1 over 4 by sine of 18 degree is root under 5 minus 1 over 4. Root under 5 minus 1 over 4. So this 4 and this 4 are cancelled. Root under 5 plus 1 over root under 5 minus 1. Now we calculate this in this form. If we given that this function is equal to alpha plus beta root under 5 by 2. So we want to make this term of this form. So if we multiply root under 5 plus 1 in this way, therefore this is a plus b into a minus b, that is 5 minus 1, root 5 square is 5, 1 square is 1, that is root 5 plus 1 whole square. Therefore that is equal to, here we apply a plus b whole square formula, that is 5 plus 1 plus 2 root under 5 over 5 minus 1, it is 4. Therefore 6 plus 2 root under 5 over 4, that is 3 plus root under 5 over 2. Therefore we got this value. Now we compare this is equal to this. So alpha plus beta root under 5 over 2 is equal to this value. Therefore alpha plus beta root under 5 over 2 is equal to 3 plus root under 5 over 2. This imply alpha is equal to 3, beta is equal to 1. And in question asked what is the value of alpha and plus beta, and also given that alpha and beta are the natural number. So we got these values are natural number. Therefore alpha plus beta is equal to 3 plus 1, that is actually 4. This is the answer. So overall the questions we solve this trigonometric function using these two identity, cos square a minus sin square b is equal to cos of a plus b cos of a minus b, and second one is sin square a minus sin square b, that is actually sin of a plus b into sin of a minus b. So if you remember these two identity, so it is easy to solve this problem. And also we use another identity, that is cos 2x is equal to 1 minus 2 sin square x. This identity also we use here. For this one value we remember, sin of 18 is equal to root under 5 minus 1 over 4. If you cannot remember these four things, it is trouble to solve this problem. If you remember this four identity, it is easy to solve this type of problem. So we get, using these four identity, we get the value alpha and beta. Alpha is equal to 3, beta is equal to 1. Therefore alpha plus beta we got 4. Let us first carefully understand the problem. In a problem, it is given that cos alpha plus beta is equal to minus 1 over 10 and sin alpha minus beta is equal to 3 over 8, and alpha lies between 0 to pi by 3 and beta lies between 0 to pi by 4, and also given that tan 2 alpha is equal to this expression involving r and s, and r and s is a natural number. Then find the value of r plus s. So it is given that cos alpha plus beta is equal to minus 1 over 10 and sin alpha minus beta is equal to 3 over 8, and tan alpha is 2 alpha is equal to 3 1 minus r root under 5 root under 11 s plus root under 5. Then find the value of r and s. So in this case we write tan 2 alpha in this way: tan alpha plus beta plus alpha minus beta. Therefore alpha is 2 alpha and beta and minus beta is cancelled. Therefore we use tan a plus b formula, that is tan of a plus b is equal to tan a plus tan b over 1 minus tan a tan b. This formula we use here. Therefore tan of alpha plus beta plus tan of alpha minus beta over 1 minus tan alpha plus beta tan alpha minus beta. Therefore we write tan 2 alpha is equal to this form. Now we put the value of tan alpha plus beta and tan alpha minus beta. Given that sin alpha minus beta and cos alpha plus beta, so we find here sin of alpha plus beta, and from here we find cos of alpha minus beta. Then we find the tan of alpha plus beta and tan of alpha minus beta. Therefore given that cos alpha plus beta is equal to minus of 1 over 10, therefore sin alpha plus beta is equal to root under 1 minus 1 over 10 whole square. Therefore root under 1 minus 1 over 100, that is root under 99 by 10. Therefore tan of alpha plus beta is equal to root under 99 by 10 by minus 1 over 10, that is actually minus root under 99, and also given that sin of alpha minus beta is equal to 3 over 8. Therefore cos alpha minus beta is equal to root under 1 minus 3 by 8 whole square is equal to 1 minus, that is actually 8 root under 55. Therefore tan of alpha minus beta is equal to 3 by 8 root under 55 over 8 is equal to 3 over 55. Now we put the value of tan of alpha plus beta, tan of alpha minus beta here. Therefore tan 2 alpha is equal to tan of alpha plus beta. Tan of alpha plus beta is equal to root under 99 plus tan of alpha minus beta. Tan of alpha minus beta is equal to 3 over root under 55. 1 minus root under 99, 3 over root under 55. Now we simplify this. So therefore that is root under 99, that means 9 into 11, that is 3 root under 11 plus 3 root under 55 over 1 plus 3 root under 11 into 3 root under 5 root under 11. So this root under 11, this root under 11 are cancelled. Therefore here 3 and 3 are here, so we common it 3 common out. So 1 over root under 55 minus root under 11 over 1 plus 9 root under 5, 9 over root under 5. Therefore 3 1 minus root under 11 root under 55 over root under 55 over root under 5 plus 9 root under 5. Therefore we write it clearly 1 minus this actually 5 root under 5 into root under 11. So root under 11 2 times. Therefore 11 root under 5, that is 11 root under and root under 55 over root under 55. into, that is root under root 5 is, so it is root under 5 over root under 5 plus 9, root under 5 plus 9. Therefore root under 5, that is actually, that is we write root under 55 is equal to root under 5 multiplied by root under 11. So this root under 5 and this root under 5 are cancelled. So therefore 3 1 minus 11 root under 5, that is root under 11, and this root under root 5 is cancelled, so only remain root under 5 plus 9. Therefore we get tan 2 alpha is equal to 3 1 minus 11 root under 5 over root under 11 root under 5 plus 9. Now it is given that tan 2 alpha is equal to 3 1 minus r root under 5 over root under 11 s plus root under 5. That is given that, or we got tan 2 alpha is equal to this, that is it actually 3 1 minus 11 root under 5 over root under 11 root 5 plus 9. Now compare these two terms, these are identical, therefore so 3 and 3 root under 11 are the same position, only compare this r is equal to 11 and s is equal to, that is s is equal to 9. Therefore r is equal to, we get 11, s is equal to 9. And in question it is asked what is the value of r plus s, that is 11 plus 9, that actually 20. This is the answer. So overall the questions, we write tan 2 alpha in this form, tan of alpha plus beta plus alpha minus beta, because some value cos of alpha plus beta it is given and sine of alpha minus beta it is given. That's why we write tan of 2 alpha in this form, tan of alpha plus beta and tan of alpha minus beta. Then we break this tan a plus b formula, then we put the value of tan of alpha plus beta and tan of alpha minus beta, then we got a compact form of, in this form 3 into 1 minus 11 root under 5 root under 11 root under 5 plus 9. Then we compare the given tan 2 alpha values, then we find the value of r and s, and we get the final answer is 20. Let us carefully understand the problem and learn how to approach this type of questions. This question was asked in January 2026 session. Let's get started. First, let us carefully observe the problem. It is given that alpha, beta are the maximum and the minimum value of this function f theta, and then find the value of alpha plus 2 beta. So first write the function f theta is equal to 4 times sine 4 7 pi by 2 minus theta plus sine 4 11 pi plus theta minus 2 times sine 6 3 pi by 2 minus theta plus sine 6 9 pi by minus theta. So first we calculate this function in theta form. So we know that sine and cos are changed in pi by 2. So we see that is 0, that is pi by 2, that is pi, that is 3 pi by 2 is 0. So sine is changes this line and this line also, and cos also. So sine 7 pi by 2, so 7 pi by 2, 1 pi by 2, 2 pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 4 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, 6 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2. So 7 pi by 2 minus theta. So that means this quadrant, and also this quadrant sign is negative, but this power is 4. So this is change, but minus sign also here. Then sine power 4 minus sign will vanish. So that is 4 times it is cos or 4 theta. The second thing is sine power 4 11 pi plus theta. So first 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi, 7 pi, 8 pi, 9 pi, 10 pi, 11 pi. That means this quadrant. So pi, so it is not changed, but the sign will change. So it is power 4, so sign doesn't matter. So it is sine 4 theta minus 2 sine power 6 3 pi by 2 minus theta. So pi by 2 says 1 pi by 2, 2 pi by 2, 3 pi by 2. Minus theta means this quadrant. So this quadrant sign will change and the actual sign is negative. So this power is 6 even power. So sign doesn't matter. So it is sine 6. It is sine. So it will be changed to cos. That is changed to cos power 6 theta plus that is sine pi. So pi is 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi, 7 pi, 8 pi, 9 pi. So this is quadrant 9 pi minus theta. This quadrant, so sine is positive and power is 6. So it is sine power 6 theta. Therefore, f theta is equal to 4 times cos power 4 plus sine power 4 theta minus 2 times cos q theta cos power 6 plus sine power 6 theta. Now we write this function this form cos square theta whole square plus sine square theta whole square minus 2 cos q cos square theta cube plus sine square theta cube. So now we use the formula a square plus b square cos square theta plus sine square theta whole square minus 2 sine square theta cos square theta minus 2 that is aq plus bq a plus b the whole cube minus 3 ab a plus b. So cos square theta plus sine square theta cube minus 3 sine square theta cos square theta into sine square theta plus cos square theta. Therefore, we use the identity sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1 here, here and here. So, it will convert to 4 minus 4 into 1 minus 2 sine square theta cos square theta minus 2 1 minus 3 sine square theta cos square theta 1 minus 3 sine square theta cos square theta. Therefore, 4 minus 2 is 2 minus 4 plus 6 it will be minus 2 sine square theta cos square theta. Therefore 2 minus 2 into therefore we write this sine square cos square theta is 2 sine theta cos theta by 2 whole square. Therefore f theta is equal to 2 minus 2 into sine square 2 theta over 4. Therefore 2 and 4 cancel and 2 minus sine square 2 theta by 2, that is f theta. In question it is asked find the value of alpha plus 2 beta and alpha is the maximum and beta is the minimum value of f theta. Therefore we find the maximum value of f theta and minimum value of f theta. So how to find the maximum minimum value of this function f theta? We know that sine theta is minimum at theta is equal to 0. Therefore, if we put the minimum value of this function here, then we get the overall maximum value of this f theta. So we put theta is equal to 0 here. So we get the maximum value of f theta. So 2 minus when you put theta is equal to 0 here, so that is 0. That is 2 and this actually alpha. And we find the minimum value. So we know that sine theta is maximum at theta is equal to pi by 2, that is one value. Here the sine 2 theta involved, so theta is equal to maximum at pi by 4 divided by 2. So 2 is here, so divided by 2, so theta is equal to pi by 4. Therefore, so we put the maximum value of this function, then we get the minimum value of this f theta. Therefore, we put theta is equal to pi by 2, pi by 4 here, so we get the minimum value of f. So 2 minus sine square 2 into pi by 4 over 2 is equal to 2 minus that is pi by 2. Sine pi by 2 is 1, so that is 1 by 2. That is actually 3 by 2. That is actually the value of beta. So we got alpha is equal to 2 and beta is equal to 3 by 2. And find the value of alpha plus 2 beta. That is alpha is 2 plus beta 2 into 3 over 2. That is 2 plus 3 is actually 5. Therefore, alpha plus 2 beta is equal to 5. This is the answer.